Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Africa Talk to Me. Today we've got two countries in Africa that are having their own elections. We've got Mali, they're having their elections on Sunday, presidential elections, and we also have Zimbabwe that are having their presidential elections on Monday the 30th of July. Today we're looking at Zimbabwe, and which I believe is a D-Day for Zimbabwe for these reasons. First, it's the first election after independence they are going to have without Mugabe. Secondly, it's also the first election they are going to have without Morgan Tsvangirai. The late Morgan Tsvangirai, who has been the opposition for quite a long time and failed to unseat Robert Mugabe. There's been 23 presidential candidates that have put their names up to become president, and there's 125 political parties that are registered and contesting in this election. It is one of the most exciting elections in Zimbabwe's political life. Now, there's only two political parties or two candidates that are worth mentioning, or who are going to be the winner and the first runner-up. This is the Zanu PF political party, headed by Emmerson Mnangagwa, who is the current president, and MDC, headed by Nelson Chamisa, who is their president. Looking at the political parties before we look at the candidates, there isn't much of a difference between the two political parties in terms of conduct. Why I say so, it is because we had their primary elections, which were made by violence, and both political parties, there was violence in there. Things didn't go down well, and they were not handled properly. So to a certain aspect, to a certain extent, there isn't much of a difference, because we've got the majority of their members are the youth, who obviously are unemployed, because there's the highest unemployment rate in this country since independence. Now we need to look at to go through these two political leaders. Both of them, Mnangagwa and Chamisa, have took leadership through controversial means, so to speak. Mnangagwa through a coup that was not a coup, and Chamisa when the late Morgan Tsvangirai died, and then there was scuffles between the leadership there, and then he took over and causing a split in his own political party. Now, what I want to do is that I want to look at these two main rivals, and just to see compare and contrast before the election, so that at least to those that are listening or watching, you might want to make your own decisions based on these facts. I'm not sure though whether the majority of the people are basing this election on policy or change, because they seem to be the main areas of contention here. Not much of policy from my own analysis, but just change, because Zanu PF has been in power since independence in 1980 until to this day. Right, we'll look at the current President Emmerson Mnangagwa. Right, okay, he's 75 years old. He's a war veteran and a lawyer by profession. Soft-spoken, and quite an experienced politician, because he has been in government since 1980. Okay, what is Mnangagwa selling? What is his product to the electorate, to the Zimbabweans, so that at least to those that are sitting on the fence, who are not sure what to choose or what to say or who to vote for, what is he selling? What is he got in his basket? He's promising to rebuild the country, attract foreign investment, tackle corruption. He has also promised a free and fair election, with non-violent, free and fair election. and from the reports we're getting so far, I would say he's done so well because there hasn't been that much violence, so to speak. And also he has invited election monitors from SADC, from the AU, from the EU, from the Commonwealth, and some Western countries are also there. Right. One other problem he has is that he's got Mugabe's legacy on his back, and it's not helping me out, it's actually tainting him. And also for President, I thought maybe I'll look at a little bit of strength that he might have within this election. He's got his war background experience, which most of the time is talked about, and which most of the time the army, because you know the army is quite a powerful force within the Zimbabwean politics. We can remember the day deposed of Mugabe in the coup. That was not a coup. He's got political experience and he's mature, and his political party, Zanu is in government, is the sitting government. Right, and previously he was the first spy chief for President Mugabe. That in its own aspects, as someone who has been in government for a long time, I would say his experience to know, or has gone through this story time to know what needs to be done, because they've done something else, they've failed, the country's on its knees. So to a certain extent it's a strength on his own part, because now he knows what the people want, and now he knows that if he doesn't do what the people want, they'll get rid of him. Right. The weaknesses, we'll look at his weaknesses. We've got the age. His age is 75 years old. We could say it's a weakness, but to some extent it's an advantage as well, as we mentioned before. As they say, there's no substitute to experience. And his other weakness is his own political party, which has seen the collapse of the economy of the country. Infrastructure is collapsing, no roads, potholes everywhere. A country that was the breadbasket of Africa. People now, there's an element of or a lack of trust for Zanu PF and for him, as he was in government before, ever since we got independence. And some people cannot tell the difference between him and Robert Mugabe, because they work together. They're two different people, but they work in the same political party. But it's hard for other people to actually, separate him from Mugabe himself, and so they think it's just a continuation of what we had before. So a continuation of destroying the country per se. It's one big weakness as well. The cash crisis, which is part of the economy as well, it's the biggest, where people have got money in the banks but they can't withdraw their cash. The best way to have money in your pocket to do anything else is to keep your money with you or hide it somewhere, because if you put it in the bank, you obviously cannot get it out. There's no lack of cash, there's nothing, because we use the Zimbabwean economy is using the US dollar, and they run out of cash. So when we look at all this, that gives an element of mistrust. It's the trust element that Mugabe has to work through. Right, and then we also go to Chamisa, who is the running candidate. Like I said, it's only Chamisa and Mugabe we're looking at. Chamisa is 40 years old, that brilliant on his own. He's also a Christian, and says he's a Christian too. Besides being a lawyer, he's a great orator, public speaker. He's experienced in opposition ever since the MDC started. Has been a cabinet minister before when there was a coalition government. He was a telecommunication minister, so he's got a little bit of government experience there. He took over from Trangirai, much as it was a controversial chess move, but it split the party. The party was split because of that move. And he has also campaigned heavily, even in areas where he could not campaign previously when Mugabe was there. So what is Chamisa selling? Chamisa is selling dreams. Dreams. Bullet trains he talks about, improvement of health care, the economy, and he also rides on transgress successes, positive transgress successes. Right. And then what are his strengths? He's youthful. Majority of voters are young too, and they like a youthful leader who they think can identify with him. Here is a coalition political party, which in its own, it becomes a powerful entity. He has been able to campaign, as I said before, and through the media, including cell phones, WhatsApp, Facebook, Twitter, everywhere, you name it. They've been throwing political rhetoric throughout there. But then, when we look at his weaknesses as well, his youthfulness is kind of costing him, and his experience, political experience. He promises what he can't keep. He's a political novice to a certain extent, even though he has had a little bit of a stint in government. He's like reeling from self-inflicted wounds, so to speak, and he needs to earn dignity and respect and political trust from people, government, business, and the international community. He has been called by others a motor mouth because he runs his mouth all over the place. It has caused him credibility problems. After we've compared these two leaders, there are other issues that are of contention there. There's a deep divide on the conduct of the elections. There's an element of there's a threat, or there's a supposition, or there's a mistrust that this election is going to be rigged. A lot of videos have circulated. A lot of people have said they know how it has been rigged. So that's the environment this election is going into, where the opposition are saying that if they lose, the elections have been rigged, unless they win. Well, that's a very tough one there. I will leave you up to it to decide is that, because the numbers that are on where people do campaign and everything else do not equally equate to the numbers of people that will actually do the voting. Right. So the election outcome is going to be very close, from my own analysis. And that Zimbabweans will need a lot of maturity and tolerance. It is a requirement. It is required. And it's required when results are out. The vote can swing either way, as we are, but it's a 50-50 scenario. But the best you can do is exercise your right. Go and vote, for you can only be heard if you vote. Good luck to Zimbabwe. Good luck to the process of the elections, and good luck to the winner. Thank you again, and thank you. This is Africa Talk to Me. Join us again when we discuss any other country from Cape to Cairo. God bless Africa.